Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's Nebula Jazz. So, Aurora and Rex, you are in orbit around or returning to Dead Man's Reef, a planet formerly a safe haven for pirates, but since somebody decided to have like a big deal auction there and then get captured by the Mingasi, they have been all over this place. So we see the planet, right? And normally there'd be a lot of like pirate traffic around it, but always hear the kind of like little wasp-shaped patrol drones that the Mingasi employ. They're like a larger version of the ones that were chasing you in the first few episodes. They're buzzing around it as though it were a disturbed hive. And I think there's a single Mingasi carrier floating in orbit, probably the command ship for the area. I would like to know what your plan is here, Aurora, because you're the one that was like, nah, fuck it, let's go.
Plan?
Yeah, or, I mean, intention, if not plan.
To try and find or navigate to a part of like a dense forest or something, but maybe like a clearing, and like kind of how we cloaked ourselves in the middle of a lake. But I want to do that in a forest.
Yeah, the trick about Dead Man's Reef, though, is that it's...
There's no like volcano.
There isn't any of that. Yeah, like it's a small, like a former moon, probably with no planet left, or a big asteroid that was pulled into orbit around a sun. It's not, it doesn't have a lot of diverse biomes or anything. Okay. It's mostly a planet of, like dense urbanization, with some kind of like wastelands or like cave structures, but not so much with the forests to land on. I'm actually going to give it an aspect while we're at it. So, Mingasi martial law is an aspect on the scene, and then also underworld planet. That being said, there's, I'm sure, lots of ways that you can find to hide your ship if you think on it. What are you gonna do?
I mean, we are in a magician ship, and if they scan it, it is
my god
ship, and they do know that Dango was once here. Maybe the magician is just back in town. You know?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to. So I guess this is the thing: is if you get close enough, the martial the blockade, they'll get in touch with you. So you could try to fake your way through and be like,
well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go change into my red dress. And I'm going to put my hair up in a giant ponytail that's really wavy, put on my red lipstick and my makeup, and then I'm going to land the ship.
Okay.
So.
All right. So you come into the patrol zone, and you hear through the tinny speakers of the ship, you hear the opening trumpet fanfare of the Mingasi naval fleet, and then a comms channel opens, and it's just a pre-recorded warning, letting you know that you've entered an area under which the Mingasi Imperium has taken attention, and that you are required to have your ship processed before landing in this world.
Okay.
There's some kind of platitude at the end about like the Mingasi care about every world within the Imperium, Mingasi forever, and then it like cuts off.
Yeah. As I prepare everyone, I say, hey, we're probably going to get inspected. Make yourselves invisible. Make yourselves invisible somehow. Rex, you especially.
So everyone all kind of like looks at each other awkwardly, I guess.
Yeah.
Rex is like, I'm good. And then he produces a small like data pad from his pocket and holds it up, and it reads Virgil and his surname, and he says, I'm Virgil.
Right, Virgil, right. I knew that, see? I knew that. What about the lady that wants to kill everything, and then Princess? We good?
Yeah, so Adina is like a little bit wide-eyed, and she's like, if the Imperium find me on this ship, I'm doomed. And she looks at you, Aurora, like you know what they're capable of. They destroyed the world we came from. She didn't say any of that, but she looks at you like, this is very dangerous.
Rex looks at Thuja and he's like, your vessel's still got stealth, right?
She nods.
All right.
It's going to look a little suspicious if we just open the back of the ship and nothing comes out. But yeah, my ship can hide.
Well, don't have much choice, do we? You two get out of here and we'll wing it. We'll meet you on the surface.
Yeah, so she nods at you. And again, like, this is weird because normally, even if you have a good plan, they're just like, fuck you, idiot, to try to get you to fight her. But she doesn't. She's just like, she just nods and then like takes the princesses by the wrist and leaves. Okay, so she gets into the ship, and we see the back of the back hold of the Houdini open, and we don't see it disappear, but it goes out and the ship disappears, closes up, and then so you're on the ship and you approach. I guess you want to try to comms this first.
Well, I turned to Virgil and I'm like, hey, oh, by the way, I need a favor. That thing that you're wearing, that outfit, yeah, clothing, that. Can you just put on? I'm sure he has a larger suit in there that you could maybe try to squeeze into to make it look like maybe you know magic. I know you don't, but he didn't either. So I think we can wing it. You know, I looked this up once. I think it's called RollPlay. RollPlay. We could do that.
You can't be fucking serious.
No, I'm completely serious.
Why can't we just say we're like his crew setting up before he gets here or something?
It doesn't look suspicious that the magician is not on the ship. Look at me. I'm obvious. Nope. I'm in a dress.
It's whatever. I get it. Okay. Rex kind of like stomps off to find a suit.
So you're gonna go and dress up like a magician?
Yeah.
Oh my God, so this is great. So you storm off, and we see Rex in a full-length mirror, and we slowly pan up from these like patent leather shoes and like a pressed set of tuxedo pants, the long tail. We see the white shirt, the bow tie, Rex's face, and then you're holding this top hat. And I think that if anything, looking in the mirror right now, Rex, it reminds you. We hear your stomach gurgle. It reminds you of something you ate a long time ago.
You see the suit, but then you realize Rex is holding it.
Right.
And then it zooms out, and it is like so small on him.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah.
Like he hasn't even attempted to put it on yet. He's just holding it up against himself, and it is tiny.
Yeah, it would be like.
Oh, you'll look so buff.
Yeah, and he like sighs, and then the next thing you see is like the mirror shot where it's like shoes with like toes poking out the end, and then like the trousers like stop mid shin, and then he's got like a purple suit jacket on, but the sleeves have been completely ripped off because he couldn't get his arms in, and it's like a crop top almost, and then the only thing that fits him is the hat.
This hat on.
Yeah. Your horrifying draw this immediately.
I know, seriously, your horrifying Sharkman face too, like smiling with all the teeth. And behind you, we see the prince, and he's just laughing into his hand, and he's just like, "Oh, honey, you look great."
Rex kind of looks at throws guns. He's like, "Fuck off," and then just like goes out into like the main room.
And he shouts after you, and he's like, "Well, at least you can make your dignity disappear. That's something."
Oh.
And you walk you walk onto the bridge, and Aurora, you see Quinn trying to wear Dango's magician outfit.
And I turn around and I'm like,
Rex is like arms open. It's the best I could do.
You look great. We'll have to find something down there probably, but you need it's passable. It's passable. We'll just say that, I didn't know how to wash your clothing, and obviously it shrunk. Obviously. So you just can't fit. It's my fault. I'll take the blame. I'm like, whatever. And I turn around and I start landing the ship at that point.
Okay, so I mean, you're gonna have to, like, as you pull in, you're gonna have to get on comms with the Mingasi Customs, right? They're gonna need to like search the ship. So, do you want to call them in advance, or do you wait for them to get?
Oh, I wait. I take my time.
All right. So as you're pulling in, a comm opens up, and a Mingasi officer comes on and says, "We're sending a scanning team. Stand by." And your ship blinks like it's prompting you to stop the engines.
I stop the engines.
Okay. Yeah. So we see a group of 6 little drones, and as they fly towards you, they break into a kind of hexagon-shaped formation, and between them, lines of gold light appear. So they make kind of a stop sign shaped field of light, and they fly over the ship, like around it, so that it scans across the ship. Mm-hmm. We see on the Mingasi command ship, we see an officer watching this through his comms. Then it starts to blink. He gets some kind of warning, and he leans over and pushes the button, and we cut back to you, and we hear the voice come out, and he says, we've got a couple of anomalies here. We're going to have to send a team to take a look at your ship. Stand by for boarding.
Like, oh my God, how long is this going to take? We have a show in like 2 hours.
Ma'am, you're just going to have to hold on. We're sending a team as fast as we can.
Okay, fine.
All right. So we fade to the airlock. And there is a group of Mingasi soldiers that are coming on board the ship. There are I got half a dozen of them total. There's an officer, there's a like scanner crew, and the rest are soldiers. And so they get on, and the officer, I guess, are you meeting them there at the airlock?
Yeah, I walk back to the airlock.
Okay, all right. So the officer greets you. He kind of gives you a suspicious look. And
I like hold my hand out like I'm showing off the ship, like I'm working, you know?
Right. Oh, you give him the Vanna White?
Yeah, I give him like the Vanna White.
Here, you can see our beautiful coolant tubes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the officer steps out on his ship and looks around and he kind of scowls and he's like, what did you say this ship was for again?
Magic, duh.
Yes, right. Illusions. Very well.
No, it's totally real. 100% legit magic, please.
And he turns to his crew and he kind of waves like, go scan the ship. Ma'am, you don't have any contraband on board? Any illegal materials?
I mean, does like bunnies count? Because I have a lot of bunnies. I kind of, we had an accident and one kind of died. That's why I just really miss Roger, okay? Roger was such a good bunny. And now I don't have Roger anymore. But no. Otherwise, no.
And he looks at you and he's like, "Ma'am, I don't." And you're obviously making him very uncomfortable right now. So he says to you, the crew of this ship, it's just yourself and
Virgil, the magician. Obviously.
Right. He looks over and.
Like I act like I look like he should obviously know that, and I'm like insulted and mad.
Right. And so Virgil, are you he looks over, are you standing there?
Yeah, I'm like standing there with my hands on my hips. I'm just like, what's up?
Yeah, and he kind of starts, he's like, oh gods. Yes, of course. If you can just both, and he takes out his little like space clipboard and holds it out, and he's like, if you could just scan your ID here, and he gestures to an area of the clipboard.
I reach inside my cleavage and pull out the ID, but I do it making sure that he's looking.
Uh-huh.
And then I hold it for him to scan.
Rex kind of like waddles over because if he makes these sudden movements, the trousers will rip. So he slowly coasts over and just like puts his ID on.
Okay, so you're gonna use Virgil's. You're just gonna swipe Virgil's ID.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You can't really see because he tilts the clipboard towards you, but you can see reflected on his face. When you scan Virgil's ID, the clipboard turns red and there's like red light on his face. And he kind of looks at it like, oh dear. And like he swipes a couple of pages and his eyes get a little wider. And he puts his hand up to his ear and he's like, team, I'm going to need you by the airlock, please. And he looks at you and smiles. He's like, I'm sure everything's fine.
This is Virgil, right? Not me.
It's Virgil, yeah.
Well, seems to be the problem.
Yeah.
No problem, sir. Just it's just gonna have to wait for he looks back at it and looks back at you. You can see like a single drop of sweat like slide down his face. He's like, I'm sure we have these anomalies occasionally, big bureaucracy, and you can hear the sound of jack boots on ship floor coming towards you.
Does it have like my race on the ID, or is it just like a name?
Yeah. It would have.
I
mean, you're a shark.
I couldn't use like
Dango's. No. It would definitely, yeah. This guy. I guess here's the question. So as
this
the
guy's
security
arguably
team,
worse than me.
As the security team comes up, let's roll to see. I'm gonna roll for him to see that if he can tell you apart from any other Sharkanoid. Let's see. Sam, how distinguishable? Like, obviously, you can tell every Sharkanoid apart from every other one, but how difficult would it be for a Mingasi, who is like a bureaucrat in the largest universe-spanning empire that exists, to recognize the difference between, like, the Sharkanoids are a fairly limited species. There aren't a lot of them, right?
No, yeah, they're quite.
Do they all wear masks?
No.
Okay. So what? I mean, I'll let you set my difficulty here. Like, obviously, in reason, but
like it's one of those things where it's like, it's similar to a lizard man situation, right? Like an ignorant Mangasi would be like, a lizard man's a lizard man, a shark man's a shark man. They are like varying shades of gray and blue and like different sizes, but like all their features are pretty much the same aside from like their scars and stuff.
yeah.
So I would say that looking at them, they'd be like, probably couldn't really tell.
Right. I can't tell the difference between one great white and another. So yeah. Okay. And we had established, for reasons unknown, that you and Virgil are of the same subspecies of Sharkanoid. So you have reason to believe that he might mistake one for the other. Okay. Okay. Let's say difficulty is like 4, probably. So if I get 4 or better, he recognizes that you're not this guy. Otherwise, he can't tell the difference.
I don't know if I want to be this guy or not anymore.
Oh, shit. So I got a 6. So he looks at it, and he looks at you, and he's like, "Sir, are you sure this is your identification?" And he turns the hexagon-shaped clipboard towards you, and you can see on it, there's like a list of crimes. Like, it's got his name at the top, but it's just like, AKA the Butcher of Karkoth 4. There's like 18 counts of murder, like 40 counts of like assault.
There's like various mugshots and then like prison break reports.
Yeah, Virgil was a bad boy.
I like lean over as he's like he's looking through all the the criminal records, and I'm like, "Oh, you've been a bad boy."
Yeah, Rex like whistles audibly. He's like, and then he's just like, that must be a different Virgil. Maybe try running it again.
Yeah, and so this is when the soldiers show up. Now they don't show up and just like point guns at you, but they're around in case they need to do that. And he nods and he says, I'm sure it's just a mistake. Let me see that again, sir."
Rex hands it back to him, and as he does, he like tilts his head to Aurora and mouths like, "Help."
Okay, so he takes it, and you can see we get in slow motion his perfect golden hand moving the ID towards the scanner.
He does that, I hack his electronics and fuck your electronics. It breaks.
Okay,
but you could just remove all the crimes. You don't have to break it.
Oh.
Well, so we know she's not in control of what happens. Right?
Oh, that's true.
Well, he can also just tell from the picture that it's not you, right?
Please don't
establish that.
Yeah, he sees that there's something funny going on here, but so he takes it. You're gonna use your stunt, and he swipes it, and it goes like boop. Let me try it again. Boop boop. Doesn't work. He like rubs it on his shirt. Boop. And looks at you. He's like, I'm sorry, sir. We're gonna need to take you in for the head office. Will get this squared away. And he gestures over his shoulder, meaning just like space. But he says, We'll just take you to the carrier. I'm sorry. I know this is a hassle. I'm sure you have a show to do. We'll try to get you processed as fast as we can. If the two of you could just come with me, and he says it with a tone of voice that means like, I think actually we get commentary from the prince, where the prince is like, "Oh, this isn't gonna go well."
I think Rex turns and he's like, "She's good, right? You just need me to come."
He says, I'm sorry, sir. When we have a problem like this, it's standard procedure to bring everybody from the ships. So if the two of you will just please,
you see, I just hired her, and I'm sure I'm happy to come and sort this out. But it would really be a benefit if she could go and set the show up. That way, we're not going to disappoint thousands. You understand?
And like, oh my God, have you seen his outfit? It looks terrible. I have to go shopping.
She has to buy me a new suit. She did this.
It's my fault, I promise. But I mean, I'm not very good at washing clothing. Okay, that wasn't in the job description.
I love that she did this. She did this to me in my beautiful outfit. It's not like it never fit in the first place. Okay, well let's have you roll to try to convince him to leave her behind. I think that's doable. You're gonna get a +1, Sam, because she's helping. I mean, this is his job, right? Not being bamboozled by criminals.
If he scans her and she's clean, then it's like,
yeah, she's on a list to be ignored. But you're not, and this is it says here you're like a mass murderer, so
yeah.
He's taking it pretty seriously. Let's say difficulty 5. Okay. And I think you're trying to be clever.
Okay. Well, no negotiation possible.
So you could re-roll.
No, I have a 1 in clever, so I'm not getting a 5, like at all. Period.
That's very true. You could get. You could get a 5 if you got all 4 as
plus. If I re-rolled and then got all pluses.
Highly unlikely.
Yep. So.
Okay. So unless someone would like to escalate, Rex, your hands are tied on this one. Aurora, looks like they're going to take both of you into custody. Do you want to do anything?
I'm thinking. Right now. It's just, I don't know what I could do that won't get us in a fight, pretty much.
I think we just go into custody.
Yeah. I think we don't. Oh, but I don't want to go into custody. That's a bad idea.
It's worse for you, ironically, given that. Oh,
I got a bad feeling about this.
Mm-hmm.
Got a bad feeling. I handcuff myself. I whip out some handcuffs from
Wait, what?
I handcuff myself to the ship. You can't take me.
Hang on, let me clarify.
I ain't going to jail.
What the hell is happening?
You're a fucking techno mage, and your way out is handcuffing yourself to the nearest railing.
That's so good. It's so good and dumb.
You're a techno mage.
No, can't
with superpowers, and you just handcuffed yourself to the wall.
No takesies backsies. It happened. It happened.
It happened. It was real.
Can I clarify? They're fuzzy pink handcuffs.
Sure. Great. Oh boy. Okay. So
how many guards are like with me right now?
There's 4. There's 4 guards.
How many are searching the ship?
There's 4 with there's 4 with you. There's 2 with the engineer who's doing the search, and then there's the officer. So there's 7 total guys, I think. Yeah, 4 plus the officer, 2 plus the engineer.
I look at Rex and I'm like, so like, are you hungry? I'm kind of hungry.
So hang on. So you've just snapped these handcuffs on. You're like, oh, I'm handcuffed to the ship, and they're like. And they're like, hold, ma'am, what are you? And you like lock yourself to the ship, and they're looking at that and they're looking at you, and the officer's like, ma'am, what are you doing?
Excuse me, have you seen me?
I don't know what she's doing.
I'm not going with you. There's no way. I don't do well in closed spaces, especially with people like you. I don't trust you. What if you're like some sort of freak? What if you try to do something? No, I just want to go shopping and get this stupid magic show over with.
So the officer says to the troops, like, God, somebody go and get the plasma cutters. And they like one of the guys runs back onto the ship, and he's like, ma'am, all you've done is to delay the inevitable, and this is going on your record. I am making a note. And he like pulls a little stylus out of his pocket.
Handcuffing myself with sex toys is gonna go on my record.
And he nods. He's like, ma'am, you are obstructing Mingasi Imperial Justice. All we wanted to do is question you. This is very suspicious.
Adam, where are these guards? The guards he called.
They're around, but like they're it's a little bit chaotic, right? Like you kind of have the advantage because she's created so much like what the actual.
I mean the backup he called.
Everyone's just staring at me.
He hasn't called for backup. He sent one away, so it's him and 3 guys. There are 2 like a few minutes away, like at the other end of the ship, with the scanning team.
Can I I look at I look at Rex and I start rubbing my belly and like
subtle,
Yeah.
subtle, Aurora.
like I'm hungry.
Boy, I
Aurora,
could go some
what's the-
delicious.
What's the plan after he eats one person? You're crazy.
Honestly,
That's
this,
my
Four
son.
There's so many of them.
this is why we have fate points, Pocket. If you'd like to compel Rex to eat one, offer up the points.
Oh my
I-
god.
Eat him.
All right. So
Oh.
what aspect are you compelling?
His looks like a shark one.
Right. Eat his way out of any situation.
You're threatened and you're a shark. Come on. Really? You're threatened by this guy? I don't think so.
I'm not
There are
threatened by him.
multiple men.
He's
There are so many men. This is the worst idea.
one of us
in
is a
the
combat
history-
expert, and one of us is a
What's
silly
great
human
about
girl
this?
magician.
Can we just take a second about this? What's great about this is that you're trying to prompt a fight after you just handcuffed yourself to the wall.
You can't even help me
Even-
in the fight.
I can't even handle you
I'm
right
gonna
now.
I'm gonna
So many
handcuff.
men.
I got the key. It's okay. It's right in my shirt or bra, whatever. Whatever I'm wearing.
All
All right.
I
so the
want to.
offer-
Okay. Rex.
Do you want to take the compel Rex?
No,
or are
I'm
you
gonna
gonna
refuse.
reject?
Rex.
Okay, you're gonna reject the compel.
Rex is like a foot or two away from the guy, and where are the other guards in the room? Like just next to him.
So you're in a hallway. You're in a T intersection. Directly behind you is the airlock. To your right is the hallway that leads to the bridge. To your left, there's a hallway that leads to the cargo area. And then in the midst of it, there's just kind of like a little bit of like kerfuffle where they're like, oh, what are we gonna do?
Okay, I want to attack them.
I want to attack them. Okay.
There's nothing else I can do in this situation. I can't even run because she's handcuffed to the wall. Yeah. So I think Rex turns and he's like, I'm terribly sorry about this. I don't suppose you guys want to see a magic trick while we wait.
And they kind of look at each other, and like the officer scowls and shakes his head, and most of the troops are like, no, I don't. What? No, I. Don't. But one of the guys like, I did. Oh, like puts his hand down when no one else wants to see magic trick. I like magic. Oh, sorry.
Wait, they all say no?
I mean, they're kind of looking at each other like, wait, what? Like this is what's happening, and they're all very confused.
To show he's legit.
I mean, that's not. I mean, it's not
That's
going
not
to get you out
why.
of the situation, but yeah.
Rex is like, look, I know you said no, but I love an audience, so I'm gonna show you anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. So the officer's like he puts his hand up and he's like, can't watch us. He's like, all right, but don't do anything suspicious. We're watching you. And the other guys kind of like rattle their guns, like keep an eye on you.
Of course
'Cause, you know, they all have to wait for the guy to come back with a plasma cutter to free Aurora from.
I'm gonna make 2 orbs appear in my hands.
Orbs?
And they kind of like look at each other like, and then yeah, the guy that was excited before, like these guys are wearing full combat gear, like heavy armor, carrying like plasma weapons. But the dude that kind of raised his hand before is just like, ooh, like claps his hands together.
As they're focused on Rex, I'm gonna like reach in and then grab the key and like try to unlock the
You're like secretly
handcuffs.
kind of trying. Okay.
Yeah, I'm like I have it like behind me and I'm just like, hey, yeah. Just all weird looking.
Okay. All right, Rex, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna smash 2 of their heads together.
Right, you just grab them and.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. We'll go ahead and make an attack. And this first attack is with sneaky, right? It's a surprise attack. So.
Okay.
And what did I say there was? There was 3 of them now. 1, 2, and 3, and then the officer. Okay.
Jesse, please tell me you've been trying to think of a compel because I've been sitting here for so long trying to
I
think of a
can't.
compel.
I need help.
I cannot compel. I have 0. I can't.
need help. I need help.
Okay. Why do you need help?
I cannot compel
Am I
anything.
rolling sneaky?
Yes. Yeah. You're gonna attack with sneaky. Okay.
And I only have
There.
1 fate point because someone compelled me to eat.
Okay. So they're
You should
gonna.
have ate him. I would have techno maged the other 2.
So not so much. And I get to create a boost. Because I beat you with some soundness.
I like
Unless
the
you
idea
want
that
to
like Rex does this and he like grabs their heads and he smashes them together, but they've got like helmets on.
Yeah.
And one of the guards just like taps his helmet and is like,
Yeah,
And Rex is
totally.
just
So
like,
you bang their heads together, and then they kind of like just stand up and like shake their heads and look at you like, oh no. So I'm gonna give my boost. I'm gonna call it Imperium battle armor or Imperium battle gear. And I get a boost, and I beat you by 4, so I get 2. All right, so let's figure out the order in which things occur here. What's your quick, Rex?
4.
Okay,
Mine's
I'm going
2.
first.
Rex is at 4. Yeah, I mean you just went, but and
That's the sneak attack.
Okay, yeah, fair. Okay, so Imperial Customs, they have quickness of 2. And then, sorry, what was yours, Aurora?
Mine's 2 as well.
Yours is 2? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so, yeah, Rex, it doesn't work. You're like, bang! And then it makes a nice loud noise. And then what?
Rex, like, he's like, oh, shit. And then just, like, punches the light switch in the room and just, like, makes it all go dark.
Okay. All right. So you want to create an advantage? Where they can't see? Okay, sure.
Yeah.
All right, so roll with quick because you're just trying to, like, hammer the button as fast as you can. Okay, that's a 0.
How?
So
That's 4
cool.
minuses.
It is the worst possible thing you could roll. You're doing
What
good.
the fuck?
You want to re-roll with that fate point there,
I
Rex?
guess. But then someone's just going to compel me to eat someone I don't want to eat.
If you fail on turning the lights out here, if you fail on this roll, this is a crit advantage. Your opponent will get a free invocation, you don't.
I'll re-roll
it. Okay.
I'll just re-roll it.
Ooh.
All right. That's a bit better.
That's much better. Okay, great. All right, so let's call this aspect. I guess it's a boost. Let's call it lights out. And I imagine this is when the like blood rave music from Blade starts up on full volume, and the lights are like flickering and.
Or like John Wick in the like lower club. Yeah.
So exactly. You hit it, and then now the rest of this scene, we see Rex moving in like snapshots, right? When it's light from the blinking, maybe they're turning their flashlights on, but we see you in vignette. We see you in single tableau shots as you move through the fight. Okay, so you get lights out, and you get to get a free invoke on it on your next turn. Aurora, I'll let you go. You go next.
Let's see. What could I possibly do? Well, I don't think. Well, maybe this wouldn't be so bad.
I mean, you're still handcuffed to the wall, so you could take your action to unhandcuff yourself.
Oh, I need to unhandcuff myself? Okay, well, now
or not. Like you're only handcuffed by one hand.
I want to try to help Rex. Can I do that?
In what way?
Like I want to like maybe like somehow use the technomagic to like cloak him better. So that way, like even with their lights, he's like really, really hard to see. And with it paired with his quickness and the dark, it would just be like he's just a ghost. Like he's just a ghost on the ship. Until they find out how to turn the lights back on.
Oh, yeah. So you want to create an aspect of like technomagical confusion?
Yeah, because I mean, making someone invisible is something that I had to do with my magic show. I can make this disappear type thing.
Right, of course.
So she's gonna try and do that basically with Rex.
God,
Sure.
I hope this roll fails and you guys get what you deserve for pulling off this insane stunt.
What do you mean what I deserve, dude?
Not you. This is all Pokket. You are just a victim. It's unfortunate. I'm so sorry for you.
What are you talking about? You fought a whole ship anime style. You're us.
Yeah, but You brought this on yourself. This failure is a
You made me
deserved
dress
failure.
up like a magician, and then you handcuffed yourself to the wall.
Listen, Mister, I have like 40 plus kills. Okay,
All right?
Mr. Virgil.
I'm just trying to make the best out of a bad situation right
Mr.
now.
Virgil over here with his murders.
Listen, don't talk shit about Jesse. Jesse's deep in the middle of a hacker hole right now. So, okay, all right. So you're gonna try to just like use your techno magic to confuse them, to generally like make it so their equipment doesn't work, and that Rex is harder. You're gonna make Rex disappear.
Yeah.
So yeah, difficulty 4. And I think that this is flashy. Go, Aurora, go. Oh, that's not a 4. That's a 0. Do you want to spend? You still got your full complement of fate points, so.
Yeah, I'd like to spend and reroll.
Okay. What aspect? You're using your techno mage aspect?
Yeah, I'm using
Okay.
Techno Mage.
Okay.
There we go.
That's way better. Okay. Now, if you spend another fate point, you'll get 2 free invokes on this, or you can just stop with 1. It's up to you. Essentially, what you would do here is if you do spend the point, then you or anyone else in the group can use it. Otherwise, you keep the fate point, and only you can use it.
I'll spend a fate point.
Okay. So this way, then Shark Boy can use it
And
too.
then this will be the let's break it down.
Yeah. Okay.
like,
So
they're
just
getting into a
describe that to me. So the lights are already like strobing a little bit as they flicker on and off. Rex starts to bust into action. We get slow motion. We cut to Aurora, who is handcuffed to a pipe for some reason.
And like the whole Valley Girl, the whole like bubbly girl thing, like as the light flashes, you just catch glimpses, and it's just like just a dead cold stare, and
Right,
then
it drops.
raises her hand and towards Rex, and that's when like the audience sees like the blade music starts pumping, and then that's when you see him pretty much like seem like he disappears in front of her.
So Rex. You're like, this is like you've been imbued with techno magic here. You're basically like Nightcrawler. You can kind of like disappear in one place and reappear in another. You're kind of popping in and out. This is like an incredibly 90s action movie fight scene. And I think that we see Aurora, like your eyes, we can't see your irises or your pupils. Your eyes have gone white, and your hair is all kind of like storm style, like floating around your head, as your techno magic kind of fills the hallway. Cool. All right. So the customs officers are going to attempt to subdue you, Rex.
I like the reality that like nothing has happened to Rex. It's just like almost an illusion kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like Rex isn't teleporting; they're just seeing shit.
Oh yeah. I was gonna
exactly.
say.
Yeah, it's an illusion, right? Like their ability to perceive things has changed. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I just want to look. I have to interrupt. I'm really sorry. I apologize. Something that's been bothering me is our use today of the word techno and the music being techno. I had to look this up. Techno did not exist until 87, 88, which means up until that point, it was known as synthwave. So I want all of us from now on to use the term synthwave and then look that up and find songs related to the term synthwave. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So you're saying that Aurora is actually a synthmancer?
She's a synthmancer.
Synthomancer.
I would argue that her robo race is far beyond the limits of human knowledge, even to this day, and thus they would use the word techno.
Maybe they had techno before us.
If we're going to, be actuallying everybody, I'm gonna Latin actually you. The suffix mancy means to be able to perceive the future by way of a particular tool. So technomancy would be using technology to see the future, which is not what she does. If anything, Aurora is a synthomacher or a synthomagus.
Synthomagus. Yeah.
Synthomagus. Okay. Oh my god, that's great.
That's actually way cooler.
I am now going to proceed to look up
synth
songs from the 80s, so continue.
Okay. All right. So synthomagus, you use your synthomagi powers to confuse the situation, and so now in slow motion, these golden mirror helmeted soldiers draw their batons, snap them out, and start taking swings at you. But of course, because of the thumping bass and the flickering of the lights, it's like they're having a hard time. Let's see if they can nail you down. I got a. Let's see here. Oh, I got a 1. I got an exciting 1.
I got
Rex,
2.
you evade quickly and you get 2. All right, and that's all you need. You don't have to use any of the abilities. But yeah, you dodge it away. So they swing at you, you duck, they hit the wall. They can't pin you down because you're like just disappearing and flickering in and out because of the lights. Rex, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Rex like bolts it down the hallway towards the storage room where he knows the cages and shit are kept.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of the dumb magician junk. So he ducks under a swing and just like basically makes a break down the hall towards like the storage area.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you wanna leave the hallway. They'll chase after you on their turn. But you head off to the storage room. Okay, so I think that we see like the lights on the whole ship are doing this kind of like flickering thing. We got lights out on the whole ship, and God, it would be a weird environment to be in. There's like magicians, there's like dummies. There's probably
mannequins and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. There's probably like a wooden like a puppet hanging from the ceiling somewhere. There's a bunch of cases. Again, we talked about the big glass case that they would fill with water. All of this stuff around. So you're in a room surrounded by magical.
Can I create an aspect then?
Yeah, totally.
I don't know. I have to roll for it, right?
Yeah. So what aspect do you want to create?
I think I want to just like use like the mannequins and stuff as like deception.
Oh,
so
yeah. Okay.
I want to maybe like I'll put like the ripped jacket and top hat on a mannequin.
Oh my god! I was thinking about compelling you to do that. Okay.
I was gonna put like the ripped jacket and a top hat on like a mannequin, and then just like lie in wait on the other side of it, so when they like face up, I can just like jump from behind or something.
God, that's so good. Well, why don't you just roll that into your attack roll, so you can roll to attack with clever, because you've got lights out and the confusion field to mess with them.
With that, so I'd be setting this up for next turn, right?
No, this is you can do it now because you just move one area into the magical storage room, and as part of you describing your attack, so they come running in, and one of them sees what they think is you, and they lunge for it, but it's a dummy.
They like tackle it to the ground, and the hat like rolls off, and it's just like, just like
the camera pans up. The camera pans up, and we see you with your sharp teeth, no hat on, in the background. And then you leap on the dude. Yeah, nice. Okay, yeah. So attack with clever.
Okay.
Oh, that's not a very clever roll. That's only a 0. All right, hang on. I'm just making a note here. Okay. All right. So
really well today.
Now you can spend lights out. You can spend techno magical confusion field if you want to re-roll. You can. Because you have 3. You and Aurora have 3. You don't have to spend fate points on those. They're free.
Yeah, but I could use them for +2s, right?
Yeah. Each one gives you a +2. Or you can re-roll on any of those aspects.
I don't know if it's worth re-rolling.
What do you need? You need 4?
No. This is just the attack.
They're gonna defend.
I'm gonna defend. Well, let me defend first because you can decide after.
Oh yeah.
All right, I got a 4. So.
Okay, I will re-roll it.
Okay.
Oh god.
That's a -2.
All right. So what happens?
Those of you listening to the MP3s, it got worse.
What happens is the guy like dives on the mannequin and like the hat off, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And then you see like a close up of Rex's face, and he grins and dives, and then you realize that Rex has also dived on a mannequin. And then he like looks down, and he's like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, and Rex gets up and he's like chewing on an arm, and he like pull off the thing. And it's like, oh, it's like a stuffing.
Yeah. Rex is like, "Oh shit!" Like realizes he's lost the guards in the same equipment room.
Oh, that's too good. All right, Aurora, you are alone in the hallway now, handcuffed to the wall. Actually, it's you and the officer. The armed troops have chased after Rex, and the officer has like pulled his gun, and he's kind of like looking around, but he's alone with you in the hallway.
Well, I need to uncuff myself, I guess. I'm just kind of chilling here, you know. Does that count as a move or like a movement, or does that count as
I think that's fine to like uncuff. So you pull the. So do you want to? I guess do you want to do it secretly, or do you want to just like uncuff yourself where he can see it?
I guess I want to do it secretly. So as like his buddies go chasing after Rex, that's when I want to like be like trying to uncuff myself. So as quietly as possible, I guess.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Cool. So you uncuff yourself. Let's have you roll to see if actually, you know what? I don't think you need to roll because we've talked about the lights being out and there's a confusion field. He's fine. So he doesn't notice you, and you leave the cuff hanging, you know, pink leopard print against the wall. And and then what do? You still got your action.
I immediately get down on my hands and knees and I crawl under a table that's near me. Like I'm like trying to like quietly crawl into this table and like make my way past the guy. But as I do that, like I look down and I see some giant chains.
Of course, there's chains everywhere because it's a magician.
I mean, obviously. Yeah. There's giant chains, like ones I use to tie up Dango. In fact, under this very table. And so then I want to whip the chains out and grab his feet and pull him back.
Okay, cool. So you're spawned now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Great. It's good.
I mean, and he's in this confusion field. It's dark. He has no idea. Like, it'll be like monsters are attacking him, hopefully.
This episode brought to you by Todd McFarlane. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. So you're gonna just like use these chains, throw them at him, and like grab him. And wrap him up.
Well, and I'd like to be able to tug them so that way he can fall.
Are you attacking him?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and do so. Flashy or forceful, whichever you prefer.
I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah, no.
Okay, one. All right. I will defend. I also got a 1. Do you want to spend one of those fate points?
Yeah, I'd like to use the confusion field because I mean, as he gets grabbed, I'd say that he's pretty damn confused what's going on and why.
Yeah, he shrieks in high pitched terror, and it's like ah as the chains wrap around him and start squeezing him. Yeah, I'm about that. So you beat me by 2. I got a 2 to fill. Okay, cool, got it. All right. So yeah, he's getting hit with these chains. They're bludgeoning him, and he's not happy about it. Back in the cargo hold, the goons are going to try to get you, Rex. So you've jumped on this mannequin, and then a couple of the soldiers, the other 2, the one that didn't tackle the mannequin, they come over and they start taking swings at you with their batons. Okay. I got a -1. So I'm gonna use one of my I'm gonna use one of my 2 fate points. I'm gonna reroll that because that's terrible. Okay, I got a 2 this time. Oh, no problem. No problem. Good dodge, Rex. So
that's only one
Rex,
of them, right?
That's the only. I only make one attack for them as a group.
Okay.
So you beat me, and you beat me with style. So you get a boost. So I'm gonna give you a boost. We'll call it. Let's see. We'll call it. You got an idea? Hit me.
I was gonna say because he's naked now, right? He like took off all of his clothes to put them on
that's right.
So like maybe like something about him being distractingly naked, and they just like they don't want to look at him while they're trying to attack him.
Nice. All right. Let's see. Distractingly undressed. All right. There you go. So you're fighting them in your skivvies, and you have this distractingly undressed that you can use. Good work. Cool. Rex, it's your turn.
Okay. Can I'm assuming that all in this like storage room with me now. Could I just like die out the room and lock them in?
Yeah. I mean, you can attack them now, right? Like you can take them apart. You got all kinds of.
I could attack them.
Free shots. Yeah.
But there's also still more dudes outside.
I mean, you're in the room. So here's the thing. There's
3 dudes in here, right?
There are 4 total. There are 3 attacking you, and one lying on the ground who dove on the nearest mannequin because he thought it was
Oh my
you.
god, there's 4 of them. I thought there was only 3 because one was getting bolt cutters.
Oh no, you're right. You're right. The other one did go. So there's 3. There's 2 fighting you, and one going. One on the floor. You're right.
Okay. I know. I think Rex just starts fighting, but he's like grabbing magician props, and he doesn't know what they do, and he's trying to use them as weapons and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And just weird shit is happening.
I'm seeing you hit someone with a rubber chicken.
Yeah, just stuff like that. I think he picks up a baseball bat and he goes to hit a guy, but the baseball bat ends up folding around the guy because it's a goof one.
You stab him with a prop knife, and yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just he looks at the knife and then realizes it's shit and throws it.
Amazing.
But yeah, I think we'll just attack.
Okay, cool.
Quickly, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just grabbing whatever he can and throwing the guards. And...
Oh, nice.
Nice.
All
right. So I'm gonna roll. Yeah, I got a 5. Okay, I'm gonna use one of my Imperium battle gear ones to bump me up to 7. Because you're naked and they have armor on, so hitting them with a rubber chicken's not gonna do shit.
Okay.
You've still got access to shark naked, techno magical confusion.
I was gonna say, but I am naked, so there's my 2 points.
Okay. All right. So how does your being naked give you an advantage in this moment?
They're in their clunky battle suits, and Rex is literally just in some Y-front skivvies, and he's got way more mobility and agility right now than these guys do.
Nice.
So,
yeah, and that's how you fight, right? Fast.
Yeah.
So.
I'm not hitting him with a rubber chicken. I'm choking him out with a rubber chicken. You know what I mean? There's the difference.
Oh my god, yeah, totally. So you've got this rubber chicken around the guy's neck, and you're strangling him with it. Good, fantastic. Just
cool.
Choking him with a chicken. Okay, great. Aurora, you are crouched under the table, and you've just chained this dude. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna grab Dango's gun. And I'm going to.
No, it's not a real gun, right? It doesn't actually shoot anything.
No, I learned that the hard way last time. He still died. I'm gonna grab Dango's gun and I'm gonna crawl on top of this guy and put it right next to his temple.
Dude, the last thing he saw was you pulling the trigger as well, and it didn't even kill him. How fucked up is that when you think about it?
I know, that's pretty fucked up. I think I have the worst murder. I only have one. I have the worst.
Okay, so you're gonna point the gun at him. You want to try to, what do you want to do?
I'm going to try to convince him to call them off and let us leave.
Oh, so you want to try to take him hostage?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty much trying to threaten him to call off his people and let us leave the ship.
Okay. Yeah. Roll plus forceful.
Okay.
Got a 6. Nice. That's a good roll. And I got a 5. I'm gonna spend my last fate point to resist you.
I'm gonna spend my last techno-magical confusion field.
Nice.
I mean, he's confused. He thinks this is a real gun. I thought it was.
Exactly. We see this to us because we've seen it before. It's really obviously fake, obviously a fake gun, not a real ass gun at all. And you point it at him, and he looks at you, and he's trained. He's got Mingasi conditioning not to buckle under pressure. But the confusion field, we can see it working at his mind, and he shakes his head and he's like, "No." I
even have red eyes. I look like I'm just demonic now. I'm this monster that just grabbed him and pulled him to the ground and now is on top of him threatening.
Again, you're Todd McFarlane's Aurora. You're totally it's the late 80s and it's time to have cool, badass, dark superheroes. Good job. All right, cool. So you see his eyes go wide and he starts to shake and he's like, "Oh, I'll call him off. Please, no." And he goes to put his hands up, and he's all he's tangled up in these chains. And and I think that shot, what you just described, the like scary red eye, like pointing the fake gun at him thing, is the last thing that we see before we go to break. So stick around, everybody. The thrilling conclusion of today's episode of Nebula Jazz when we return.